Hey, Leo, Mel, Intuitive Coach here, excited to bring in your November 2025 monthly reading. All right, let's open up your energy field and take a look at what the month ahead has in store for you. Now, Leo, your fourth house of home, family, ancestry, and emotional security is highlighted this month. So you may be drawn to go inward. This is really a time to reconnect with your roots and strengthen your sense of belonging and nurture what feels like home to your soul. Now, Leo, Scorpio's energy brings in this level of emotional honesty and transformation when it comes to your inner world. And your key themes for the month include belief system, rest and retreat, and animal kingdom, which is all connected to your roots, your sense of belonging. So when it comes to home and family, some of you may be creating boundaries, you may be healing some inner child dynamics or taking a look at outdated patterns or traditions that no longer serve you. And you may even be making physical changes in your living space or living environment. You could be rearranging, redecorating, decluttering. You may even be moving or relocating to a different area or to a different home. And you could have someone joining the family. This could be a new pet for some of you. And I feel like you've been doing a lot of healing work, especially around relationships. There may be a feeling at times of not being fully supported or not feeling seen. And you are going within this month and really taking that time to connect to your inner knowing. I see the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. This is about you trusting that inner voice of yours, trusting that your feelings that are showing up are actually helping you heal and helping you release some old pain. Now, you may be craving a bit more peace this month, a bit more privacy or time away from the spotlight. And there's nothing wrong with that. You need your downtime. I'm actually getting a nesting type of energy here. For those of you that are mothers, if you have ever been pregnant, there is a phase towards the end of pregnancy where you start to nest and you start to get prepared and get everything ready. And you really go within and prepare for some of the big changes. And some of you are getting ready because 2026 is a launching pad. And what I mean by that is you are getting ready to enter a new chapter of your life. And November, you're really going within to fine tweak things to make sure that you're where you are meant to be. So your inner and outer world start to match up. Now, diving into your energy here, you have belief system. I have a feeling you are connecting with your ancestors or even honoring the past while you're consciously creating a new emotional legacy, which means you know how far you've come on your journey. But there may be some reprogramming that you're currently in the midst of. You can honor what has happened in the past, but you don't have to keep playing out an old story, especially if the story was attached to pain or lack of support or any limitation that has kind of held you back in some way. So belief system is about you connecting to your higher power, which we see here with the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. And right below High Priestess, we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is legacy. It's ancestry. It is you being able to create a life that you love for yourself and connect to your community and your family and your tribe. And I see that you are trusting more. There's a level of trust that's coming in. Now, some of you may have doubted your faith, or you have questioned your faith at times, or you've questioned the support that was available. This month for you, Leo, is a soul soothing and deeply restorative month for you. When you are starting to fully feel safe within yourself, you can shine even brighter in the outer world. And I feel like that's what 2026 is for you. It is about shining that light boldly, bravely, and courageously, but kind of doing some of that prepare work, that fine tuning within this month. Now, because we have Animal Kingdom, many of you are pet mom or dads out there. You may be connected to your animals. This could be a sensitive month for some of you, especially if you have lost a pet or you've had some issues, struggles, or challenges with an animal. But I see here that you could even be introducing a new pet into your family. And Animal Kingdom is showing up because this is about unconditional love. It is about companionship. And if you have been contemplating perhaps introducing a pet into your life, this would be the perfect month to do so. Now, it's also about emotional support, and emotional support can come through in many different ways. And if this isn't a physical pet that is showing up or an animal, it could even be a spirit animal that you are being guided to work with this month. And I'm actually going to pull from the Spirit Animal Oracle to see what animal is guiding you at this time. Now I'm hearing the owl, okay, or I should say I'm hearing the owl's hoot. So for some of you, owl could be symbolic, or perhaps wisdom, clarity, rising above is part of what you are learning this month. Some of you could even be seeing owls in nature. Perhaps you have an owl tattoo, or this could be an animal that shows up on social media. Now you have the vulture. The vulture says nothing is wasted. Have you come to a point in your life where you feel like time is running out, or you've wasted your time on a situation? Sometimes we feel like we've stayed in situations longer than their expiration date, or we feel like we haven't fully learned lessons, or we feel like we're going round and round. And Spirit is here reminding you that you are exactly where you are meant to be. And yes, you're preparing, you're going within and fine tuning and asking yourself at this time, am I feeling safe? Because oftentimes we feel if we are struggling, if we are being challenged in some way, that we're off path. But really, it's through those struggles where we really lean into recentering and coming back to that space of wholeness, coming back to that space of self. And that's what I see you doing this month. And by claiming yourself as whole, you know that nothing is wasted. All right, we have rest and retreat. This is about a timeout. Right? Time out period for you to connect to your lineage, to connect with your family, spend more time with those that you love, spending more time creating that emotional legacy. And I see that healing, peace, and recovery are all calling out to you, as I've mentioned. So I love to see that your fourth house and the cards are also collaborating, also connecting, meaning that you are really being activated at this time. Now, by late November, Sagittarian season lights up your fifth house of joy and creation. So that's going to help you reawaken that playful side after really reflecting for the majority of the month. There's a lot of emotional integration that's taking place here for you, but you will notice that joy and that momentum building up towards the end of the month. So allow yourself to take this time out if need be, Leo. Allow yourself to kind of nest, do what you need to do to feel that safety, that stability, because this also connects to your root chakra. Now you have here the Empress starting off as your first energy out. The Empress is a beautiful energy of parenting you, right? Parenting yourself. Now, some of you could be connecting with your mother, whether your mother is still here or has crossed over, because this is that mother vibe, the divine feminine. And so because family and legacy is part of your fourth house, many of you are connecting to this divine feminine within and within your lineage that could be healed, or it could be deeply resonant of some sort of forgiveness, some sort of peace, some sort of angelic energy as well, because we have divine guidance at the bottom of the deck here. And if your mother has crossed over, perhaps angels were her thing, or you are receiving spiritual strength or assistance that is helping you connect to a loved one in spirit. And if you have struggled taking care of or nurturing yourself, and some of you could even be pregnant. Some of you, there's a new member coming into the family, and maybe it's not an animal, but it could be the unconditional love of a child. And I see that this is a very empowering month for you to love and for you to nurture and express yourself in the ways that you are wanting to express. The Empress is highly creative as well. So getting creative when it comes to your home, when it comes to your environment, when it comes to your daily, rituals and habits, but also how you parent yourself. Maybe trying out some new techniques here, because self-care isn't always about, bubble baths and massages. Self-care is about looking at the parts of us that, feel wounded, feel hurt, feel betrayed, and kind of reaching in to that jumbled mess at times and pulling out the core of a situation in order for us to fully be able to take care of ourselves in the best possible way. Now we have the Seven of Pentacles showing up here. Timing. It's time here. This is a month of really evaluating. The 7 represents spiritual awareness. It reminds me of that owl, kind of waiting things out here, evaluating, assessing. But the 7 of Pentacles is about patience and the harvest and rewards of your hard work. And I see that you're taking a look at your investments, and if what you are putting into something is not allowing you to feel good about yourself, or it's not helping you in some way, it's hindering your growth, or it's unhealthy, or it's toxic, that is what is coming up for you at this time. Because the 7 of Pentacles is about what is worth growing, what is worth watering here. And you don't want to keep pouring into something that's not going to grow. And that's a big message coming in. But in order for you to truly reflect and take that honest assessment, that's what this month is all about. So just like in pregnancy, because we have the Divine Mother, and even though you may not be giving physical birth, you're certainly giving birth to a new idea. And right now you're in the gestation period, and you are giving something its lifeline is what I'm getting. So making sure that what you are birthing is something that you want to continue watching grow, continue to see this blossom. And I feel like that's where the 7 of Pentacles comes in here for you, because Spirit is saying, don't neglect, right? Don't neglect your own needs here in order to give out a lifeline to maybe something that isn't in your highest good. I hope that makes sense. Now, the 3 of Coins, the 3 of Pentacles is showing up here as well. This is cooperation. This is teamwork. This is family. This is about coming together. It's that sense of wholeness. When the 3 of Pentacles shows up, this could be, skillful planning, preparing, getting ready for some big changes to occur. And I do see here, as I mentioned, towards the end of the month, when that 5th house is activated and you're starting to feel more joy and more togetherness. But you could have a lot going on, especially as we near the holidays. It can be a heavy time, can be energetically exhausting, physically, emotionally exhausting, but it feels like you have a good support system, or you are leaning into, help. And maybe that is an area that hasn't always been as fulfilled in the past. I do see help coming in, helping hands. And this could even be you asking for help from your family. Maybe you always have the holidays at your house, but this year you may be saying, can we get together at your place? Or, can you bring this dish? Or can you help out more this year? It feels like you are delegating, but not in a way that feels bossy or demanding, but, asking for help. And I feel like the other people are going to reciprocate that. They're actually going to feel like they are being of service in some way, even if that is a fear of yours, even if some of you are saying, well, they're not going to reciprocate. They're not going to help out, even if I ask. I see here that you may be surprised. And if you have young children, or if you have a family in your home, this could be getting them on board as well. And if it's been a struggle in the past, maybe you have teenagers and you've been trying to get your teenagers to clean up after themselves, or pick up their rooms, or to help with the dishes or the laundry, or whatever it may be. It feels like there's some changes that could be occurring to make sure that everybody knows what their role is and everybody pitches in, because this is, a together type of energy here. Now, you do have something beautiful blossoming, as I've mentioned, the Ace of Pentacles. Look at all this beautiful pentacle energy here for you. So this is tangible. When pentacles show up, this is connected to perhaps finances. Some of you may work from home. There may be possessions here that are being re-examined. This speaks of the health and body. So for many of you, this is about you planting the seeds, as I've mentioned, and you are wanting to water what's working, right? What's growing, what feels good, what feels like it's making a difference. Because when we are giving to something or someone that is a dead end, but we keep doing it, it's exhausting. And if this is in your career, or if this is in a relationship, or whatever area of your life, if it feels like you've been hitting a dead end, that's where that Seven of Pentacles comes in and has you reorienting in some way, really has you going within and getting honest and saying, okay, why do I feel the need to continue pouring into what's not giving back? So there is a huge assessment taking place here. But the Ace of Pentacles is beautiful because it's a positive reward. It is about you not giving up because you've been parenting yourself, or you've been nurturing and helping others. I see here with this Empress, this is a very fertile, very mothering, very nurturing birth of a new cycle coming in. And it's like you are in month 8, month 9 of giving birth to something profound in your life. Maybe it's a new relationship. It could be a new job. You may start to feel healthier within your body if you've undergone, a health crisis. And you're starting to see that, you're not stuck. You don't have to be in this phase forever, that there is new growth that is blossoming here for you. There we have another pentacle. We have the Two of Pentacles. So we see the beginning stages of something starting to grow, starting to blossom. We have the Ace, we have the 2, the 3, and the 7. So we're seeing that there is an energy of being present with your loved ones, being present with what you are focusing your attention on. Now, this is even something, Leo, that I catch myself in from time to time, where my mind is focusing on 17 other things. It's like your browser, your browser on your laptop or your phone has 17 tabs open, and you have a hard time focusing because you're going back and forth, where this month is really asking you to stay present. Stay present with the conversations. If you are having dinner with someone and you're sitting across from them, don't be looking at your phone, or don't be looking past the person or looking around. And sometimes we struggle, especially if we have like type A personality like I do, or ADHD, or that attention span is short. That can feel like a struggle, but for many of you, you are being guided to participate in practices that can help you stay more present and more mindful of your surroundings. So Two of Pentacles is also about allowing yourself to multitask when you need to, but not to the point where you're getting so overwhelmed that you are stretching yourself thin and burning the candle at both ends, that it causes you to feel exhausted or like you're taking on everything yourself, right? You don't want to juggle so much. That's where that Three of Pentacles comes in that we spoke of, right? That cooperation piece. And moving into your overall outcome here, this is that beauty of the end of the month, moving into your fifth house of, spontaneity here, of joy and pleasure, and, that spark of fire within. The Queen of Wands, she is powerful. She is someone who is highly magnetic. And what's interesting here, I don't see this often on the Queen of Wands, but she actually has a birthing belly here. So she is about to give birth to something here in her life. And that's what I feel like you're doing, is you have some really beautiful plans that are in the works, and you're starting to see the physical evidence of these plans take shape, meaning this is happening in your outer world. But first, there is an inner reflection. First, you're finding that stability and that safety and that security within your own self, meaning that no matter what external things happen, you're okay. You're telling yourself, Leo, I'm okay, right? And I am going to step outside of my comfort zone, because when the time comes that I'm ready to push, when I'm ready to give birth, I will be prepared. And that's what I see you doing here. And there's a beautiful, it's not an owl, but it's a hawk, I believe. So it's like you have this winged energy around you, and divine guidance, remember, is at the bottom of the deck, which is about angelic support. It's answered prayers, spiritual strength, and miracles. And that's what's unfolding for you this month. Now let's look at health. We have the Empress coming up. So love conquers all, right? Love can heal us on every level. The Empress is connected to the heart. Empress also speaks of pregnancies. It can denote at times to stress, especially from lifestyle choices. So I feel like that's what this month is all about, is saying, where can I level up? Where can I create change? Where can I nurture the areas that I've been lacking? And that's what you're doing here when it comes to your own health. And some of you, the heart chakra has been maybe an issue, or the sacral chakra, right? The womb space for some of you. Maybe you have struggled with infertility, or this can even be like sexual energies here. There's been maybe some issues with that sacral, and stress at times, or even a feeling of lack of energy, maybe in that heart or sacral region. Now, because you also have the High Priestess showing up, the High Priestess can be hormonal, and that's connected as well with that Empress. So some of you, there's been some hormonal fluctuations. This energy rules women, the uterus, ovaries, it can be breasts. The High Priestess also can be the stomach and nutrition. So just keep those energies in mind if you are currently resonating, or if you have struggled with some of those areas. Perhaps you are seeking out like a naturopath or a nutritional practitioner here. Some of you are getting your hormones tested, or you're looking at certain supplements here, or working with the body that is changing here. And for those of you gentlemen out there, I see that you are paying attention to maybe the solar plexus, stomach, digestion, and nutrition, getting back to a space where you're feeling more motivated, because sometimes that Empress, she can be feeling a bit lazy, right? And when she is stuck in an energy, especially when, what's the opposite of nesting, right? We have to prepare, we have to plan, but then we can feel a little complacent here. So if you've been feeling a little bit lazy, allow yourself that time, because it could be your nervous system system even, saying, I need to rest and digest. I need to, rebalance my body instead of constantly feeling like I'm in survival mode, because this can also be connected to the vagus nerve. That heart is directly connected to the vagus nerve. So if that is something that you've been interested in, check out the polyvagal theory and somatic healing, because that can be beneficial, especially with that Empress and the High Priestess. Now, there could even be some mystery. Now, sometimes the High Priestess is like a mystery illness, or it can be a secret, something that you push to the side or you don't address or don't take care of. You don't want to do that this month. All right. This is not the month to let something slide. If your body is speaking to you, listen. If you are feeling like something is off, especially in the heart, remember, the heart, this is the number one cause of death, is connected to that heart. And because we have home and we have like ancestry, some of you may even have a loved one in spirit who has crossed over from maybe a heart-related issue, okay? And they may be connecting through dreams or connecting through animals as well, or they may even have an animal that's crossed over with them. So let's dive into career, money, finances, and abundance. Some of you Leos out there are writers. You may be journaling, writing things down. I'm getting manifesto. Maybe you're creating a manifesto, or you could even be a content writer, a blogger, a YouTuber, or in any creative writing career. Perhaps you want to display classes, workshops, or seminars, or this could be something that you are participating in to gain some insight into how you can do this yourself. Your words have the power to influence. You are being guided to share your gifts with the world. And right now, you may be guided to simply write, simply journal, to capture your thoughts on paper, to maybe speak into a recording device, and just open yourself up to this channel. You don't have to go big immediately, right? If this is something that you are leaning into, but it's taking the small baby steps to activate this dream, to bring it to life, which I see you doing here. Words are magic. Use them to manifest more abundance. Next, we have anchor. The anchor speaks of financial stability, but at times it can be blockages, financial blocks that keep us stuck. And typically these are mental blocks, old stories. So you may be revisiting your relationship around money, your belief system around money, and you may be kind of reevaluating working smarter, not harder, with this rest and retreat. Now, some of you are stable for now, but you may want to travel, or you may be thinking about long-term goals, thinking about what's best for your family, your home life. I also see that some of you may end up in a different city or a different state or a different country than where you may currently reside. Okay, this could be down the road a little bit, but I also see 2026 energy is highlighted for many of you, especially when it comes to big changes. Now you have the rose here, financial relief. If you have been stuck and not getting paid, maybe due to some of the economic or government changes, this is also an energy of support. And I saw support here in your reading. So there could be some sort of aid, some sort of relief coming in here for you. And many of you, this is about job security. And if that has been a struggle at times, I see with this Ace of Pentacles, there is a new opportunity or reward or a blessing that is activated for you here in November. This is also growing. You have the ability to grow. As I've mentioned, the Ace, the 2, the 3, the 7 of Pentacles tells me that, you know, if something is not growing for you, you're looking elsewhere. If something has laid dormant, or if it's not moving, it becomes stagnant. Think of a pond with water in it, right? We need that free flowing water to kind of clear out the gunk, to continue moving. And it just feels like if something is not moving here for you, you are opening up the pathway or the portal to a new blessing or a new opportunity coming through. Yeah, because you want to grow. That's the rose. That's the flower here. So for those of you that have been wanting to birth a new career, a new creative endeavor, this is the time where you're going within and fine tuning so you can really unleash that creative power of yours towards the end of the month and even into December. All right. Now let's look at relationships. Okay, someone could be getting married. There's a deepening of a commitment here with the engagement ring. This is beautiful energy. So if some sort of relationship has stayed stagnant, this could be a month where it levels up a bit. That Scorpio energy is intense and it brings up honesty. I see the high priestess at the bottom could bring up some hidden truths. So you may be taking a relationship to the next level. This could be about you saying, this is what I deserve. And if I'm not getting what it is, if we have been doing the same thing over and over for the last few years or the last decade, it's not going to change. And I know my worth, and you may be moving in a direction where this is possible if this is what you are seeking. A higher level of commitment, partnership, union, eternity. You know, you want someone to be perhaps a lifelong companion or partner. And even though some of you have been going with the flow and trying to kind of ride the wave, it feels like you want more out of a situation. And that may require you getting honest with yourself and saying, what do I truly want here? Am I willing to stay in this energy, hoping for something to, happen? Or is it time to address the root of what's truly underneath? And for some of you, if you are in a happy relationship right now, there certainly could be an engagement. Now, you have the clock here. This is the hourglass. For some of you, it feels like time's ticking. Like it's been a long time doing the same thing, or maybe with the same person, or maybe you've been single for quite some time. Yeah, I feel like this was a cycle that you were in, and it did take a lot of time here. And you are now to that point where you've learned a lot of lessons. This is about progression, Leo. And I feel like you've had to take this time out to go within and reflect in order for you to truly heal some of those maybe family dynamics or past dynamics that have played out for you. And you are about to kind of flip that hourglass over here. And there is a fresh start here, a fresh beginning for many of you, where you could be having a deep conversation. This is really about talking and connecting with your loved ones here. You have this energy of, releasing the feelings of not being supported. So if there is someone in your life, you may be addressing some of these issues and saying, I don't feel supported, or, what is it that you need? What is our love language? How can we work together? So there needs to be a very important conversation instead of it being maybe surface level, or instead of brushing something under the rug. This is about you really healing the home and the family dynamics within, and maybe even creating some good, healthy boundaries and some structures in order to be able to speak up without feeling like you are in defense mode, or feeling like someone is automatically going to, throw back daggers of defense. You want to be able to come into this space in full alignment. And that's how you know that, this is a relationship that has the ability to grow, is the both of you can talk about the difficult, hard things, because that is what is going to strengthen your bond. If you cannot come to this person without feeling like, you have to walk on eggshells, or feeling like they're going to judge or criticize or admonish or attack in some way, that's that dead end. That's that shut down energy. And that may be a space that you don't want to keep hitting that dead end, meaning you may be reflecting on some of your commitments deeper this month. All right. And lastly, we have become your soul, not your role. I don't think I've heard this card before. Become your soul, not your role. Who are you at your core? You are not the role you play in life or the many hats that you wear, right? It reminds me of the Two of Pentacles. We juggle up so much. We tend to lose focus on the true core of who we are and what we want out of our life, because we wear all of these hats, but you're so much more than that, right? When you peel back the layers, you get to that core of who you are. Journal who you think you are at your core. What do you value? What matters most to you? Your mantra for the month, Leo: I am a divine soul. So that's where that journaling comes handy here. For some of you, if you enjoy writing or perhaps creating, this would be a great month to paint. Some of you may even be painting the inside of your home, or you could be doing some reupholstery, maybe updating some furniture. I'm also getting allowing yourself to express through your artwork in your home, or through, setting out crystals in your home if that's something you want, or plants, or whatever allows you to feel safe and secure and good within your living environment. You are changing that up a bit, or, leaning more into that. So who are you at your core? And then lastly, your archetype for the month is the mystic. So let me find the mystic here. One moment. All right, Leo. The mystic is the light worker, the dreamer, the seeker. The mystic is often misunderstood in our culture, depicted as a wanderer or lighthearted daydreamer. Yet, like Shiva, the true mystic plays a critical role in society, remaining fearlessly dedicated to the path of transformation. In order to save the earth from darkness, Shiva swallows the poison of the world and holds it in his throat, slowly transmuting the liquid into nectar. This is the work of the mystic. They do not fear darkness, but rather sit in the presence of it, harness the potential and latent energy behind it, and embed it with light. They are patient and prudent change makers, seeking growth above all else. Wow. And we have that rose. We've been talking here about growth. Unanswerable questions are the mystic's lifeblood. The mystic revels in mystery, in the great riddle of life, dancing with the forces of light and dark upon its wings. Now, when the light is showing up, it's the remover of darkness. It's the visionary. It's ageless. When it's showing up as the dark aspect, it expects results. It seeks attention and recognition. Like any light worker, the mystic must build a relationship with fire. Right? That's that Queen of Wands energy, Leo, and you are fire. This begins by awakening the inner flame, or tapas, within. It may seem that the mystic is inward facing, yet its light beams back to the world with the strength of 1,000 stars. If you want to go deeper in this energy, check out Zen Koen's poetry or Murakami's novels. All right, Leo, that is what I have for your month ahead. Many of you are light workers here, and you are being guided to nest, go within, because things are changing here. You are getting ready to give birth to something quite profound, quite wondrous in your life. And because we have divine guidance at the bottom of the deck, I feel like this is connected to a miracle. Leo, that is what I have for you, beautiful souls. If you enjoyed the reading, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. And if you are interested in a personal reading or signing up for the monthly newsletter, you can find all of that information in the description box below, or by visiting intuitivesoulcoach.com.